cheering and screaming and clapping. It was one of the all-time like just greatest screening experiences I've ever had.
Really?
So it was just insane.
I know that he's really good. So we're gonna have to just like measure the water.
Oh my God! Now, please tell me that's on camera. All the Jake Hamilton, Fox Houston. If you know my stuff, you know it's just I just cut together compliments and then that's my piece. And then I'm like, yeah, and then Evil Dead opens in theaters. But seriously, this, oh my God, it's amazing. So.
Glad you liked it.
Are you guys getting good reaction? Because I'm sure South by ate it up. I mean, that was.
Yeah, it was a
that's
pretty.
for the South by audience. Jake Hamilton, Fox Houston.
Anytime.
Excellent. So, whenever Linda Blair shot The Exorcist, and she shot that famous, masturbation scene with The Exorcist, she said that whenever she went home, it followed her. She had what she called her bad night because she couldn't sleep. The images were in her head, and she couldn't get away from it. So I was wondering, what was that day for you guys? What was that thing that you saw? What was that moment that whenever you got home, you couldn't shake it? You had that bad night.
I think getting vomited on. That one stuck with me pretty good.
That'll do it.
Yeah, right. And the stuff is so disgusting. It's like this jelly, strawberry, oatmeal stuff that
Right.
it's so gross. So that one probably.
That sticks with you.
Yeah.
I remember, Jane has to say something really sort of nasty to me as I'm, trying to close the cellar door. Do you remember that bit?
I do remember that.
I'm not going to
You
repeat
probably
it.
can't say that right now.
You feel free to say it. We can air more stuff in Houston than you would think.
No, I can't. I just can't actually say it myself.
Oh, fair enough.
I don't even feel comfortable doing that. But yeah, that was just. I remember Fede told her to say that, and I just thought that's so terrible, man. And she said it. It was really effective.
She's such a sweet girl, and you can't imagine that someone
She is?
like that. From my experience with her, I thought my 4-minute interview I had with her for Fun Size, she was great.
I'm just joking.
But one of the great all-time going to a horror movie traditions ever is shouting advice to people on the screen. And last night was everyone was doing it. Like, no, don't do this, don't do that. If we were all going to go sit down and we were all going to watch Evil Dead together, in your best shout at the screen voice, what is the piece of advice you would shout out to yourself on camera?
I would just say immediately just turn around. You don't want to be there anyways. So just turn around. You don't want to see your friends. You don't want to see your sister. Let's head back.
Yeah,
There
the
you go.
characters are pretty, I think they have to be a little bit stupid to believably work in movies like this, right?
But
Otherwise you don't have a
that's
movie.
part of it. Yeah, exactly. That's horror movies, right?
Naive.
Naive. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, we'll edit that so it just says.
Yeah.
One thing I always tell people is that when it comes to junkets, if you ever zoomed out 3 feet, you would kind of see in a way how ridiculous all this is, because there's people all around us. You can't see there's riggings and everything. So we're watching the movies last night and it's just so insane and we're just so into it. But what was that moment that if we were to see everything that went into it, if we were to zoom out 3 feet, we would go, that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen?
I would say zoom up because the whole time we're outside, there's this gigantic balloon light that sits above the whole set, but with a bunch of rope, and it's all held there constantly, so it's always there.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And you're being lit by a fake balloon.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's pretty silly to just look up. You're in the woods. There's all these sort of creepy trees, and you look up, and there's this big, globe of light.
Yeah, I think it's just all really, I think people think it's really scary or something to film, but it's just not. It's completely unglamorous and it's really grueling and we're all really uncomfortable most of the time. And so I think that would be surprising to people.
Now, there are a lot of great horror movies, all the classic horror movies, whether it's Halloween or The Exorcist, have these kind of urban legends that follow them that all these weird things actually happened on set. So I was wondering, what was that moment for you guys on set where you kind of had that what the hell was that sort of reaction?
Did you have anything like that?
I think if you talk about these things, you just perpetuate them, and I don't want to invite any of those things back into my life.
Fair enough.
After my experience, I just feel like,
So there might have been a little something.
There might have been. We'll see what happens.
Okay. If we never see you again, we'll know.
Oh, well, we filmed on a burial ground, didn't we?
We did. We filmed on a Maori burial ground.
That's right. We had to actually get blessed on the first day of filming. That's New Zealand tradition.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens.
That always makes you feel good, but right before you shoot a horror movie.
Yeah.
Blessed.
By the way, you're shooting on an ancient burial ground.
And the thing was, I filmed that. It was the first day, and I filmed that day, and I missed the blessing. I think I was the only one that missed the blessing.
I missed it too.
Oh.
And then we weren't there for that. They're like, the cast doesn't need to be
Fede's
there.
like, we're all getting blessed, and we're all getting blessed, and then at one point, for the end bit of the movie, he wanted me to be really, scared, and so he told me, he said, walk 10 minutes into the Maori burial ground out that way, and it's pitch black. That bulb of light is not there. and stand there, you know, until you really get, you know, feel the burial ground, and then come back and do the scene. And that was probably the scariest moment of the whole thing for me, you know. Felt a little bit more realistic, you know.
Right. Oh my God, guys, I could talk to you all day. Y'all are fantastic.
You too, man.
Thank you so much. Seriously, I don't regret that.